Hi everybody, it's Dr. David Gustitus here today, and I want to give you 5 key tips on how to enjoy blissful sleep again. If you're like so many of my patients, you're struggling to get to sleep because of too much stress. You're carrying your day with you to the bed and you're struggling to either fall asleep, stay asleep, and you definitely are not waking up refreshed. And I want to do something to help you. And these are things that you can do on your own tonight. So what I want to teach you, first of all, if you have a lot of stress in your life, if right now your mind is racing all day long and you're really intense and you've got so much work to do and you've got to be worrying about this and you're watching your kids and you've got all these different things that are responsibilities on your plate, but these are all cerebral, they're emotional, they're up here in your head, but you're not physically active at the same level, we need to burn that off physically. So the first tip is exercise. You have to make sure you burn off what you're producing on a stress level. So if the stress hormones are up here and your activity's down here, that gap is going to be circulating in your body until you burn it off. And if you go to bed without burning that off, it's going to be there circulating, telling your body, hey, we still need to be in this fight or flight mode. It's important that when you're under higher levels of stress that you really keep up with your exercise. So I'm going to recommend doing, at a minimum, some yoga, doing some cardio at a moderate level of intensity, like 30 minutes, doing walking, jogging, swimming, biking, whatever is appropriate for you and whatever you really enjoy every day. 30 minutes at a minimum, moderate level of activity. The next thing I would recommend is stretching. You know, if you do that before you go to bed, like say an hour or so after dinner, you go and you find a quiet space. Maybe if you are watching a program, try to do that like a few hours before bedtime. But if you sit down or lie down on the floor and you're going to do some stretching just to get your whole body moving a little bit. Gently moving all of your joints, all of your muscles, getting a little stretch, getting some of that blood circulating through your body. It'll do wonders to help bring all the nourishment from your meal from that day, either from the dinner or from earlier meals in the day, just bringing all that nourishment to your cells so that when you go to rest at night, your cells will have the resources available to them because you just circulated them in order to repair and to rebuild and to prepare yourself for another day. So that's number 2, is stretching. Number 3, I would recommend practicing some meditation. Meditation is an important tool to help your brain learn to turn it off. If all we do is crank up that brain level of activity all day long, so we're go, 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 and we're heightened sense of alert and heightened sense of productivity, and we don't practice the off switch, which is what meditation will allow you to do. It'll train you, it'll force you to turn it off. It's not easy to do that, but it's something that you have to practice. You have to do on a regular basis in order to get your body and your brain, ready to be able to handle that time effectively, because otherwise when you're in meditation you'll start thinking initially. You'll think just like you were doing all day long. But we need to learn how to slow the mind down to focus on either one thing or nothing. And the more you practice that ability, the better you'll be able to get at it. So number 3 is meditation. I would do 10 minutes a day. I would recommend doing that in the evening when you're trying to calm down. I think it's a great practice to do, and meditation has amazing benefits on for those who practice it. So people who practice meditation can have their brains. They measure their brain activity, their brain age, and they said they found research have found that the brain activity or the brain health, brain age of those who practice meditation has been up to 7 years younger than those who do not practice meditation. There's so many other studies that I can't quote all right now, but I want you to know that it has huge benefits to your health and it really helps to reset that fight or flight stress mode. The next thing I want you to do is to make sure that you are eating no sooner, or I should say no closer than 3 hours next to your bedtime. So if you go to bed at 11, I want to make sure that you're stopping your eating. Your last bite, snacks included, is before 8 p.m. Okay, make sure you get that accomplished. Make that a rule, okay? Sometimes life happens. Sometimes you'll leave work late. Sometimes you just don't have the ingredients you need for dinner and you need to run to the store. I get it. It happens to me. But really, every day, as often as possible, practice that 3-hour window before you go to bed, okay? And number 4, turn down the screens at least an hour before bedtime. What I mean by that is turn off the cell phone. Stop looking at the screen of the cell phone or the iPad or the television at least 1 hour before bedtime. Those are all blue light producing screens that stimulate your eyes, stimulate your brain into thinking that it's midday. Some of you might have blue filters on your iPhone. Then that's better. Okay, that's better. But ultimately, I'd rather you turn it off and put away the devices 1 hour before bedtime. Additionally, along those lines, to help to minimize the blue light exposure, is to have some lamps around the house that you can turn on that last hour or two before bedtime as you turn off the blue light lamps. The blue light lamps are going to be more midday. You're going to get a nice bright light to your room, but it's so much stimulation to the eyes because of its intensity. Those are the colder color on the spectrum of light. So there's colder light, there's blue, and then there's warmer amber, more yellow type color in terms of lamps and light bulbs. So make sure you get the amber, the warmer ones, okay, for the evening hours. So that last hour or two, make sure you're using those, and let those be the only lights that you're exposed to in those last 2, maybe even 3 hours of the evening. So those tips I know will help you to prepare your body for a great night's sleep. If there's anything that we can do at our office, I'd love to be able to help you. I know that so many of my patients who come in for chiropractic care, you get a wonderful benefit in terms of better sleep. If there's anything we can do to help you get through another night's sleep with better rest and wake up more refreshed, we would love to help. So please click below, reach out to us, and we're here.